Hello, I'm Victoria, and this is my student case study about Ruby for my Teach Now Module 8, Unit 2, Activity 2. Ruby's family background. Ruby is the third of 4 children. Ruby is only 4, so she's still getting used to having her baby sister get attention like she used to get. Ruby speaks English well enough for it not being her first language. She comes from a culture where the father is the only one we can contact for support. Ruby's school history. She attended the 3-year-old class last year in our school. Ruby's problems last year were she would not eat, all of her food was brought from home, she would cry saying she missed her daddy and she didn't like her food. She used harsh words with an attitude to match if she was instructed to do something that she did not want to do. I interviewed her teacher from last year. Her name is Miss Rudenko. I thanked Natalie for talking with me and asked, do you have any records available from last year about Ruby? She replied, I only have her attendance. She would get sick or go on trips at different times throughout the year. Other than that, her attendance was pretty good. I asked if she could share some things that Ruby struggled with last year. Ms. Rudenko replied she did not like the food she brought from home. She always cried when eating snack and lunch. As she cried, she would say that she did not like her food and that she missed her daddy. We would always encourage her to eat a bite for daddy, eat a bite for mommy, and so on. She would cry through it all. When we would instruct her to do something like a craft or an activity, and she did not want to do it, she would snap at us and say, why do I need to do this? Or, I don't have to do this if I don't want to. We would say, you are right. You don't have to do what you don't want to, but I won't be able to give you a grade either. We have to grade everything you do. We will just have to write, student would not participate, and let your parents see it. Eventually, her attitude became better. I asked if her parents were supportive. Ms. Rudenko said her mom came to one parent-teacher conference. When we talked about her not liking the food she brought from home, her mom would just say, the doctor says she needs to eat this food. Dad said he would talk to her, but there were never any changes. I commented that my concern is that Ruby is spoken to at home the way she speaks to us at school. Children this young usually model what they see and hear. Did you see any evidence of this when parents came in to talk? Ms. Rudenko replied that she did not see this evidence, but people are not the same when in front of the teacher like they are at home. So I surmised that we needed to model a soft voice and kindness in our classroom more. I know she responds well to smiles, as I've seen the proof of it. Ruby's strengths and weaknesses. Her strengths is that her English is good enough to communicate. I understand her and she understands me. She has good cognitive skills. She remembers things that we teach her in class. She is not shy about voicing her opinions, and she will participate in activities within a group. Her weaknesses when she communicates, she's too loud and oftentimes very harsh. She uses a mean voice. She cries when it is time to eat. She does not like to play with her classmates during free time. Even when her classmates invite her or want to play with her, she does not want to play with them. She wants to play by herself. She expresses her opinions in unkind ways. Ruby in the present. Ruby is in the 4-year-old class this year. She started school a week late. She was in school for 4 days. Then she was out sick for a week. When Ruby does not want to do something, she says that her daddy does not want her to do what we requested of her. Ruby tells her classmates in a harsh way that they should not play with something or eat something because her daddy says it is bad. Interventions being used with Ruby. We have written to the father about these issues. He's written back that he will talk to her. When Ruby has a snack, we tell her how much we would like her to eat. Then we ignore the emotion part because we know nothing is wrong with her. When Ruby begins to cry for her dad, we try to show empathy. Then with a smile, we assure her that all will be fine and she will see Daddy soon. We try to distract Ruby by getting her involved in another activity. Then we started using the share happiness technique. What is the share happiness technique? It is something I thought of one day when she began crying that she did not like her food and she wanted her daddy. I realized that Ruby needed to see happiness bubble to her as much as possible. She has a beautiful smile, and when she smiles, she's not thinking about what she does not like or that she's not with her daddy. And I like the quote on this page, How to Find Happiness. Laughter really is the best medicine. Continuing the share happiness technique. The day I thought of it, I asked Ruby with a smile, "Do I share happiness with you?" And with her poochy lips, she shook her head, "No." So smiling, I went around to every student asking if I share happiness with them. Each student smiled back, saying, "Yes." Then I looked at Ruby and I said, "I don't share happiness with you?" Again, she shook her head, "No." So I took a big gulp and changed my smile into a frown and said, "Oh no, I swallowed my happiness." Then I coughed and said, "Yay, I coughed my happiness back up." And she started laughing. With a smile, I asked, "Can you eat 10 bites of your food?" She smiled back and said, "Yes." And she went and ate with no more tears. I try to smile at her whenever talking to her or reminding her of something, and it is working. These are my references, and these are 3 questions that I have for my cohorts. Number 1, how do you as a teacher respond to a student's emotional outbursts? Each age level would be different. Number 2, what steps would you take to encourage Ruby to eat the food that she brings from home? And number 3, how are you supportive of the parent's role in your student's life while helping your students to accept your role as a teacher in their life? Thank you.